A lot of times when I'm speaking on stage and I open it up for questions, a lot of the agents will say to me, they'll say, well, Liam, how did you get to be so successful so quickly? How did you beat the records right off the bat? How are you so successful? Now, I would tell you that I was born to sell. When I was 6 years old, I used to sell bits and pieces of my mama's chocolate chip cookies at school. They sent me home with a letter one time and said I could no longer bring the chocolate chip cookies. And then the next time I started selling my potato chips for pennies on the dollar. Then I was sent home another letter. And I was told not to pack my lunch anymore. But I tell you all of that to tell you this, that yes, I believe that there are some people that are born to sell. There are some people that need to learn to sell. I get that on several fronts. I understand that, but I was definitely born to sell. And when I first got into the business, most of you may or may not know, but I didn't do so well on the first couple of weeks. Or at least on my standards, I didn't. But when I started in the business, I only had 6 months to win a trip. I'd never won a trip before, and I wanted to win a trip. I wanted to win that trip. It was to the Bahamas. I'd never been to the Bahamas. I thought it was going to be a great opportunity, a great trip to take and be a part of. Yes? So I did very well, but it didn't come into fruition until something I didn't do, and that was I didn't sell a policy to somebody. They didn't buy it. I just was taught to go to the next yes. Go to the next one. Not to worry about not getting that one. Well, I didn't. I went on. Sure enough, that person died 2 weeks later, which changed the direction of my selling from that point on. Nobody in front of me was going to leave, or I wasn't going to leave without getting them something, yes? But I started to learn that if you would listen to the client and then get them to listen to themselves, it was pretty easy closing techniques. So we want to do all the talking. We want to complicate things. We all know that complication is the enemy of execution. I like to treat clients as that little child that will tell on themselves. You know, I remember one time we had a bunch of grandbabies over, and one of the little ones got hurt. Nobody would say who hit him, who threw the ball at him, who made him cry. So we got everybody in a circle and we prayed. And I prayed that if God would only turn the person who did this little hands red, then we could address this situation. Sure enough, I looked down and my little granddaughter was looking at her hands. Let the client or the prospect tell on themselves, yes? And then get them to listen to what they said to begin with. You'll be amazed at how many closings you'll go to from here on out. That will be pretty simple.